the good, the bad, and the brainless.
I
Brainless
think you are 100% accurate on that, good sir. So,
Yeah.
Cousin Jay, yeah? What do you got for your good this week?
This man is running away with superstar of the year for me, Christian Cage.
Wow.
Christian Cage absolutely eviscerating Sting, eviscerating Ric Flair, and anybody in his path. He was so good. He made Ric Flair, who's seen everything and anything since he had his battle with Kane after Bobby Fish did. Even he was laughing at the line that Christian hit him with. He couldn't even hold it in. That's how good Christian is right now, is being a dastardly heel. I'm going with Christian.
Honestly, I really do want to give him my superstar of the year. He's not even
my super. He deserves his damn flowers. He deserves his flowers.
I'm not arguing that. He's not even my superstar of the year in AEW, unfortunately. And that guy might not even get my superstar of the year either. But that's for, a couple months down the road. And like KJ said, anything's possible. Christian Cage could still win my superstar of the year, just like LA Knight could still win my superstar of the year.
If he ends up at a funeral where he ends up dragging a casket or something of the like.
Oh, he's winning every award. He's going to somehow win wettest hair. But my good this week goes to the co-hosts of Halloween Havoc Night 1, and that is Shotzi Blackheart and Scarlett Bordeaux. I think it's Bordeaux. I hope it's not like Parker.
We'll go with that.
I have enjoyed, of all the old WCW themed pay-per-views that have become like this NXT takeover / thing where they're doing 2 nights and stuff like that, they have done an excellent job with Halloween Havoc. They have booked the hell out of that show or those shows every single year since they reacquired that name from WCW. Shotzi Blackheart and Scarlett absolutely killed it as the hosts. Between the costumes, the exchanges they were having with everybody, they added to the presentation of NXT's takeover Halloween Havoc thing that they did on Tuesday. And I have to give them kudos where kudos is due, especially because Shotzi doesn't get a lot of positive things said about her from me. So I wanted to give her and Scarlett my good for this week because they were excellent. I was thoroughly entertained by them.
All right.
What do you got for your bad?
As much as I have an appreciation and understanding for bringing main roster superstars down to NXT, I think they've been doing a little bit too much of the hit it and quit it with them, where they bring them down for a couple weeks to pop a number only for them to return to the homeland and leave NXT behind. Yes, they may help a bit with the younger members of the roster, but in general, to me, it feels like a bit of a cheat, almost like when they bring somebody in specifically for WrestleMania and WrestleMania only. Hey, I understand they're trying to build up NXT again. Oh, by the way, thanks, Vince, for destroying what was already a functioning brand. All that being said, I'm going with the fact that, you bring Becky down for her to win the title, to lose the title. I think they could have done more with that. And oh yeah, we'll make it a couple weeks storyline. And, they booking-wise, okay, they made it so, oh, she took the end of days. So, okay, booking-wise, we understand it more, but, come on. Have it be more than a cup of coffee return, yay. I don't like the fact that they've been doing that to kind of artificially inflate what they are.
Okay. I can't argue with that. I'm going with Ric Flair for my bad.
Okay.
We do not need to see 74-year-old, nearly died many times Ric Flair on television because we already know that the only reason he's in AEW is because he knows he's going to get paid. And Tony Khan knows Candy Khan is going to pay Ric Flair a shit ton of money until March of next year to keep showing up. Question I do have about Ric Flair, though, before we get to the brainless. Does Ric Flair turn on Sting before his contract's up?
Yes.
Okay. I think so, too.
He's the dirtiest player in the game.
What do you got for your brainless?
Amazon. Why? 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 Amazon gets my brainless for this week for having a bad idea for a bad show. I actually don't have much against Brie Bella. Nikki Bella bothers me a little bit. All that being said, bad show, bad idea, and not the greatest former professional wrestlers. Nobody needs to be subjected to that. Thank you.
Well put, sir. Well put. You might as well just start playing Brass Bonanza right now because I got a hat trick.
Hereford Whalers coming back.
We have a hat trick. Tony Khan has become the first person in the history of this podcast to get my brainless 3 weeks in a row. All for different reasons, too.
Cocaine.
He gets it this week because he's been touting this announcement that he has this big surprise for Sting as a retirement gift for Sting when he retires next year at the Revolution pay-per-view. And he gives him 74-year-old Ric Flair. This was after Tony Khan went out there and whined and cried because WWE had John Cena, Paul Heyman, Asuka, and The Undertaker all on NXT the Tuesday that they had Dynamite moved to that show because of the MLB playoffs. He goes out and gets Ric Flair. Ric Flair, who, other than maybe Nick Gage and Vince McMahon, has come out looking the worst of anybody from the dark side of the rings. Ric Flair, who looked like an actual corpse as he laid on the apron outside of the ring during his last match. Ric Flair, who is a crybaby, who's just in it for the money, is now all elite. Why? And I feel like we've had a conversation many episodes ago where we said that Ric Flair wasn't going to be there because it would be a stupid reason for him to go to AEW. Tony Khan's not that stupid to bring in Ric Flair, and here we are. He is that stupid. And I'm convinced that he's going to wrestle Sting.
You might not be wrong. It might be like a 6-man tag, 8-man tag, what? 10-man tag, what? 12-man tag, what?
If WWE takes the woo out of the introduction of all of their television shows, like they've done before, does Ric Flair have a leg to stand on about being upset about it?
He never had a leg to stand on.
Thank you. He cried when he got taken out, his woo got taken out of the introduction. He's not WWE. I'm sorry. And they should take his woo out again now that he is gone and chase the money that Tony Khan is offering him.
Well, I mean, they took Edge out of it.
Yes, but Edge, it's different with Edge. Edge can actually go out and have a wrestling match. Ric Flair is 74 years old, and he's avoided death like a half a dozen times. If there was a God, Ric Flair would have been dead 20 years ago, Jay.
Wait,
Ric Flair's still in AEW?
he's still alive?
Wait,